welcome to my home. Come on in. So here is my home, my wonderful yellow hallway, and here we have a little shrine for Bridget that greets everyone who comes in, along with some plug-in cat hormone spray. Here we have a beautiful handmade wall hanging depicting different chakras. So, let's start our tour. Here we have the dining room, the basket of fuzzy socks for all visitors in case they have cold feet. Put on a virtual sock if you have chilly feet. And this is where I do a lot of my admin work on my laptop. I spend pretty much all morning here in the dining room working away, answering emails and doing photos and updating all social media accounts. Here we have a lovely, lovely dresser that we got from a second-hand place, and as well a beautiful Asian wooden horse from an antique shop that was not too far away from us. A lot of the stuff here in the house you will see comes from auctions, antiques, second-hand places. My husband put together this lamp from the lampshade, and the stand came separately, and he put them all together into a beautiful lamp. Musical instruments, you will see many of these throughout the house. I love music. I play a lot of instruments, but I am master of none. You'll also see lots of plants in this house. Here we have a beautiful guitar that my husband bought for me for my birthday decades ago now, and it's got mountains and the moon on it, and it also has the phases of the moon in mother of pearl, which is just gorgeous. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Here we have our lovely dresser again, which we got from an auction, and it's filled with all of my studio pottery that I like to collect from second-hand shops and from auctions, antique shops, and just on my travels. Here, there, and everywhere. If there's a hand-thrown pottery place, I am there. And we also have some antique stuff up here, some candle holders that my mother made many, many years ago. And a beautiful Cornish jug. We also have some antique plates. Some of these are over 200 years old. My Staffordshire bowls, my old tea bowls, which are over 250 years old. And beautiful, beautiful Moorcroft lamp. Love my ceramics. Over here we have my collection of witches. Started off as one and it just keeps going and going. We have a witch from the shop in Ipswich called Sacred Earth on the right. And we have another witch on the left that my husband got for me from Germany. And she's quite scary. She should light up and laugh if I push her arm somewhere. Here it is. She does scare kids that come around, I have to say. These are a collection of witches that my mom got me. A witch from Boscastle. Just from everywhere, really. And a couple of chalices. pieces below. And a little cast iron bowl here, which is great for spell work if you need to burn stuff. Excellent for that. And a painting that a friend of mine, Simone Pador, made. I love this painting so much. It looks like the pheasant just kind of popped his head into the painting and just kind of said hello. And of course there are more witches around. This is a witch that my husband got for me while he was in northern Italy on a business trip. And there's another witch in the far corner. She came from Corncraft in Suffolk. And we have a final witch over in this corner, and she came from Pendle witches. Lots and lots of witchy goodness here in the dining room. And finally we have a little bit more pottery, antique stuff, and a beautiful painting done by a local Suffolk artist. And in here, this old, just move this out of the way, this old Victorian cupboard is my Herbal Pharmacy. Got all my herbs, lotions, potions, stuff that's brewing, just everything in here really. My lovely little Herbal Pharmacy. Here we have a gift that was inherited from my grandmother. All my family comes from Holland, so we've got all the different places marked on this little wall hanging. I love it. And here we come into the kitchen. So, pretty standard kitchen. What I like about it is that it opens out into the dining room, so when you have friends over, you can talk and chat and have fun in the kitchen. Cat Flap, Barnabas, who likes to go in and out, are many different types of bins for composting and recycling and glass. And yeah, just knickknacks everywhere, from mostly gifts from friends and from family. And our lovely blue and orange tiles. Very 80s, but we liked them, so we're keeping them. The most wonderful view of the garden when you're doing the dishes. It's quite spectacular. And of course the lady who watches over it all. And my fridge, which has a lot of stuff on it. Souvenirs from Holland and Mont Saint-Michel, and just funny little things. Gifts from belly dancers, from friends. Just a whole bunch of stuff that I love and that makes me smile. And over here, we have the downstairs loo for both us and the cats. Some pictures that are in the Bob Ross style, if anyone knows of Bob Ross. We found these in a charity shop and we just loved them. I love Bob Ross, I love watching his videos. And yeah, it's a very fun bathroom. Lots of things to look at, lots of things to make you smile. Found this beautiful branch in the woods near to here. It's from a beech tree, and it has just decided to live here in the bathroom and hang all of my little bits and pieces. So let's take you now into the living room. So here we have the living room. Again, lots and lots of plants. More bits and pieces here, there, and everywhere, and cat toys on the floor. Always gotta have cat toys here, there, and everywhere. So we have a beautiful devil's ivy here that loves that shady corner. It's pretty much the only thing that will grow in that corner. Lots of bits and pieces. Got some lovely, these are new pieces that I got off of eBay. This is a Swedish wedding cup. And another vase, all hand carved and just absolutely beautiful. I love things that are handmade. Our collection of DVDs that I had over the years. Some of our photos of the wedding and our wedding vow renewal. And of course the beautiful fireplace. Never lived in a place before we moved here that had a fireplace, so this is an absolute pleasure and a joy to have here. It's absolutely lovely in the autumn and in the winter. And these are some hops. And these hops actually grow over our hedge from the neighbor's front garden. So I collect them every year, I dry them, and I redo the hops on top of the fireplace every single year. Over here we have a little shrine to Bridget again. This one's next to the fireplace, and I say morning prayers and do my daily devotionals here every morning. You can still see the tea light, the candle that has been lit from early this morning. There's a bowl of water next to it. Fire and water for the goddess of the flame and the well. And over here we have our little gypsy things, a little wagon, and this is, we call him the Burgermeister. Likes to preside over the living room and over the living room antics. A spinning wheel that I inherited from a friend when she moved to go traveling, and which I have yet to do any spinning on. This is my lovely little collection of Royal Dalton pottery that I've been collecting over the years. Some of it has been gifted, some of it has been wonderful cheap finds at antique and car boot sales. Again, here's another little table that we got for like a tenner at an auction. Beautiful carved oak stand. It's amazing what you can get at auctions these days. Don't ever buy furniture new. You don't need to. And here is the conservatory with our little cat, Kiwi, who's looking outside, but not sure she wants to go outside because it's cold today. Thank you, cat. You're just gonna look outside, okay. And it has the most wonderful view of the garden, and of course the things for all the cats. We have 2 cats. And this is my spot where I just like to chill, to sit, and to read. Our giant cactus. This started off as one tiny little cactus and has just thrived in here, and it flowers at Christmas and it also flowers in May. And yeah, all the beautiful flowers, the Michaelmas daisies have come out, but everything else is just kind of winding down for the year. Everything's looking a little bit tired. leaving my sunflowers to go to seed. My outdoor altar. And yeah, just a nice place to sit, to have a cup of tea, and just to chill any time of day, really. So, let's take you upstairs now. As you can tell, I don't really go for the minimalist theme that you see in a lot of books on hygge. Everything that I have, I love, I adore, and it brings me joy and it brings me pleasure. I love seeing, you know, photos of people's houses that are all minimalistic and easy to clean and gorgeous with clean lines and stuff, but it's just not something that I can do personally. I have too much stuff and I love my stuff. Especially my books. Love my books. Just a few of the many, many bookcases that you will see throughout the house. I tend to hide my books upstairs. Our upper landing with the cat hammocks and the cat houses. More plants. These are all our previous boos that we have loved. Some family pics. And here we have the master bedroom. Lovely size room. But it's a cold room. It's got 3 external walls, so it can be a bit chilly in here. And all my little things that I love. I especially love this picture here. This is a picture of my grandparents when they were coming over to Canada, moving to Canada on the KLM flight, which stopped in Nova Scotia, I do believe. And you can see my 2 older aunts, and my mum is there in my grandmother's arms. So they moved to Canada after the war. My grandfather got a job working as a landscaper for a hotel, and after that he opened up his own florist's shop and greenhouses and expanded into 3 different shops, and really kind of made a name for himself in the local area for flowers and gardening and everything else. So I love this picture. It just is a great ancestral picture. It reminds me of who I am and where I come from. The landing here, so sunny, so lovely. Just accentuated with the yellow walls. So even in the darkest depths of winter, it's beautiful and it's sunny in here, and I love it. So this is a very special place. This is my special room, so just for me and the cats. My cousin made that for me. Gosh, probably 30, maybe even 35 years ago, a long time ago. That was on the wall, on the door of my room in the house where I grew up. So this is my room. I use it as this is my meditation space, my chill out space, my Barnabas space. Hey, big boy. Oh, what's that? What's that? That's tummy. That's what that is. Yes. Yeah. So this is a space for me and the cats. It's the warmest room in the house. It's great for just relaxing, for reading. This is my indoor altar space. Currently all decorated with the leaves and beech nuts and other bits and bobs from the garden that kind of correlate to the season. We have our giant ficus plants in here. These started off about 15 years ago as a desk plant that I had when I worked as a legal secretary many years ago. And yeah, they just take good care of them and they turn into these wonderful trees. Lots of pagan artwork, Lady of the Lake on top of the Tor. This is a picture of Bridget, a painting by Wendy Andrew that is actually the original is in the White Spring. That's where I first met Bridget. Oh no, that's where Bridget reinstated her presence to me after I first met her in the back garden. A bell branch that I made. And this is another piece of artwork by Simone Padur. She made this for my birthday a couple of years ago because I am a huge Labyrinth fan, and of course the Goblin King turns into a barn owl when he wants to go and spy on people and do stuff. This is where I keep my absolute most favorite books. So this is everything that I absolutely adore and love. A God and Goddess statue that I made a couple years ago. And my favorite books in the world live here, of course, next to my unicorns. I have loved unicorns, I heart unicorns, and I always have since I was a little kid, and I always will. So there's a section on witchcraft and Wicca, there was a section on Druidry, there's a section here on heathenry as well as overspill of Druidry. And on the second bookshelf over here I have my favoritist fantasy books, as well as a little shrine to the Morrigan. This is the first goddess that I ever worked with. So some old books that have been with me and have moved thousands of miles with me, as you can tell by their beat up and battered spines and covers. Yeah! Hello, Kiri! Oh, is it going to be a fight for the sunbeam? Oh no, Barnabas is going to let you have it because he's a gentleman. Yeah. Lots of diaries here in the back that are waiting to be used up. My fantasy fiction book, Honor Bound. Some old high school yearbooks, look at that. And of course a whole collection of artwork by Amy Brown and Brian Froud. Love them to bits. This is a little thing that I found again at an auction, and it's a candle box. The Victorians used to use candle boxes. You'd use those little screws there to screw it into a wall, and then you would keep your candles in it, and that's exactly what I do. I keep my candles and all my lovely bits in there. These are my journals, my book of light as opposed to a book of shadows. My book of shadows is a book that contains rituals and spells and everything and information on the Wheel of the Year. This is more of a journal that I use to record rituals and spell work and stuff in. And so I call that one my book of light as opposed to my book of shadows. And yeah, here's the bed where I do lots of reading, have a nap with the Kiri cat. And it also folds out into a nice sofa bed, so when guests come and stay over, they get to stay in this room and enjoy. It has a wonderful view, again, of the backyard, and I like to sit here in the winter time because it's too cold in the conservatory to sit in the conservatory, but I'll sit here in the winter and I'll often watch the sunset just over those trees. And you get the most amazing skies in the wintertime, for sure. So let's head out without stepping on Bobo here. Hey, big guy? And I'll show you the last little bit of the house. This is where Kiri Cat likes to sleep because there's a hot water pipe that runs right underneath there, all the way through into this room where Barnabas is sleeping on the floor. That's where the hot water pipe runs. And this is the upstairs loo. Yes, we have a cat litter box up here too because Kiri is getting quite old and sometimes can't make it downstairs in time, the poor thing. Lovely light bathroom. The previous owners had a good, nice blue color scheme, so we kept with that. Nice to have a separate bath and shower, I have to say. Again, I've never had a place that had a separate bath and shower, so it's really, really nice to have. Our airing cupboard here, great for drying herbs. Absolutely wonderful. And this is our kind of computer room, as well as a little bit of a store room at the moment. The computer here in this dark corner is where I've spent many, many long hours writing my books, here in this dark corner of the house. And I have my inspiration, as always. There's Tori Amos and a unicorn, of course. Unicorns. Aw, I heart unicorns. My Goblin King bobblehead. Presents from different friends. Bridget over there, as usual. And just, yeah, I've spent many, many hours here. There's a blanket on the printer because the cats like to sleep on it when I'm working. They're always hanging out with me. And of course, the best druid of them all, Gandalf. It's a picture of me from a pagan artist that I think is pretty cool. You give him a photo of yourself and he'll turn it into something even more pagan-y, which is quite fun to have. And we have my keyboard, which is underneath the dust cover here, which I hope to be getting out this winter in order to write some more music. My giant aloe plants, they're absolutely massive. Started off really, really small, but yeah, as you can see, they're huge. And of course, the fairy wings. Every room needs a pair of fairy wings, don't they? Bit of artwork done by my uncle. He's very talented. And yeah, that's it. Barnabas here having a drink. This is another painting done by the Suffolk artist from above my pharmacy downstairs. They look like photos, but they're actually paintings. She's a very, very talented, very special artist. So yeah, I'll take you back down. Again, more artwork by the artist. Is this Wendy Andrew? Oh gosh, I can't remember now. You can find these at the shop for the Glastonbury Goddess Temple. And oh yeah, I'll show you my little pictures here. These are pictures that really mean a lot to me. This was taken at a birthday. My birthday, I'll move so you're not in the reflection. Birthday party a few years ago now, where we had pretty much the whole clan on my mother's side come over, which was really nice. And a picture up here of Mont Tremblant National Park, one of their campsites where my husband and I spent a really nice vacation. This is a picture of my favorite woods on the mountain behind my parents' house, and a picture of the North River, my mom and dad, my brother and sister, me and my husband, me and my mom, and another picture where the rapids begin on the North River, a very, very special place to me. And finally here we have my guarding the entrance to the house. We have my witch's broom, and we have a couple of other staffs as well. And Barnabas, who's having a drink down here because this water tastes better, obviously. So I hope you've enjoyed this little tour of my home, and I look forward to welcoming you back into the fold. For future videos, you can find out more about the videos that I do on my YouTube channel, and as well, if you want to subscribe and become a patron on my Patreon page, you'll get additional videos that are only available to patrons on my special patron page. So it's been a pleasure having you here, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you soon again. Take care. Blessings.